What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is having a great start to their day so far. I'm going live with Jose Duasso, local Miami-Dade high school football coach. He's texting me right now. He should be joining the live show shortly, just in the next few minutes. He just texted me. Also, guys, if you haven't checked out my Brian the Beast London episode yet, highly recommend it. A lot of great content around the program. Also, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on the comment section regarding Jared Williams, offensive tackle out of the University of Houston. He will be a graduate transfer. His last year of college will be possibly spent at Miami, and also Isaiah Wilson as well. And I got Jose Duasso as well texting me right now. All right. Talking about some questions we're going to go over through. So he will be joining us shortly as well. And then any questions as well that you have for the show, we'll just go through it. And he'll be hopping on in 5 minutes as well, guys. So thank you, everyone who is joining the live show segment. How's it going, my man? Wholesome One, thank you so much for all your support, man. I greatly appreciate it. Wholesome One Holloway, he was actually the first person to reach out to me, and I had no idea who he was. So it really is a blessing to have him part of my YouTube channel journey. What's up, Sean? How's it going, man? Greatly appreciate all your contributions you have given to the channel, man. It truly does mean a lot. We should do everything we can to get Williams. Being familiar with King is a major plus. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, Bergie. I think Jared Williams would be a great addition. I know a lot of people want Isaiah Wilson as well. Isaiah Walker as well. 4-star offensive tackle out of Miami Norland Senior High School. He was committed to South Carolina, which a lot of people thought was a little bit odd. How does the best offensive lineman in Miami-Dade County commit to South Carolina? Will Muschamp is the head coach there. So it was a little bit odd. Then he decommits and goes to Florida under Dan Mullen, and then doesn't even spend a spring practice at Florida. He just transfers right after. So hey, a lot of people are saying, hey, he likes to jump ship a lot. Maybe he'll be problematic, some bad signs. But there's always two sides to every story. You know, there's one side, there's Isaiah's side, and there's the truth as well. So we don't know what's going on in his life right now. So we'll see what happens. Appreciate it, Sean, for the $5 donation, man. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. I could not do this channel without you guys, without my subscribers, without help from my friends on YouTube as well, like Wholesome One Holloway, man. Guys. And Jose Duasso will be joining the show in about 5 minutes. He just texted me, so please stand by, guys. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Someone said, I think it was Brad Tejada on Twitter. He said, according to Andrew Ivins, Miami could take one. They could take both, but they would have to take a scholarship from the 2021 class in order to get both. So it's a tough decision on the staff. It really is. Which one do you want to pick? Personally, if you had to ask me, I would take Jared Williams. I like the win now mentality. Maybe that's me thinking short term, but I think you can get a good offensive lineman, a good offensive tackle, 4-star recruit. If you start winning 10 games this season, you can build off a good recruiting class instead of someone who went from South Carolina, Florida to another school in a very short time period. What if it doesn't work out for Isaiah? What if he goes to another school? So that's just my opinion. We'll see what happens, but technically I think they can take both. Ian wants to take more recruits from UF. Dan Mullen is doing a good job down there. I think he is a solid coach. Great recruiter. He did a solid job at Mississippi State. It'll be interesting to see if he can turn the corner. One thing about Dan Mullen, I haven't seen it. He hasn't taken any program he's been a part of over the edge. It's always kind of been like 10 wins is the max, 9 wins. It's kind of like a Mark Richt win and loss. You want to compare it to Mark Richt. Just 9 or 10 wins consistently, never takes it over the edge to 12-0. But we'll see. Maybe he can take Florida over the top this season. Kyle Trask had a solid past season. Thought he was much better than Felipe Franks. Need to continue building South Florida recruiting. Can't take chances on our recruiting. I agree. Absolutely. All right. And Jose Duasso is joining the live stream, guys. Please stand by. Jose, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. There's a little bit of delay on yours. Yeah, I can hear you. Just a delay in the when you talk, but it's all good.
All right. If you want me to call in, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna send you my number right now so you can call in. It'll probably be better.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you got it, man. All right, so Jose's gonna call in because the phone, the communication was bad, so he'll be calling in shortly. Jose, man, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Hey, Jose, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to come on the show. If you can just introduce yourself to all the viewers right now watching the show, I greatly appreciate it.
I'm Jose Duasso. I run Miami Immortals, a local 7-on-7 team down here in Miami. Got a few guys that are actually currently committed to Miami. They recruited to Miami. And the team just from top to bottom is mainly Division I talented kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jose, man, are you working right now in South Florida high school football? I know you were previously on Cedric Irvin's staff at Miami Senior High School, or is it just 7-on-7?
No, I'm just running strictly 7-on-7 with Rudy Trevino.
Okay.
From the Miami Portals. He's at Miami Killian. It's me, a guy by the name of Johan Bencourt. He's at Gulliver, and a buddy of mine, Dre Smith, and then Mike Haggard. We all coached in Little League together, and then Rudy approached us to take his brand to another level with him, and we joined up, and we're here where we are, just actually coming off of a nice tournament circuit this year that was cut short.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Jose, can you just talk about the importance of 7-on-7? Because I know some people, they're kind of like, hey, like, what's the big deal around 7-on-7? So just talk about the importance for these kids, participating in it.
Number one, with quarterbacks and receivers, it's a lot of timing. At least I was lucky that a lot of my receivers came from Miami Northwestern this year.
Yes.
So they especially with 7-on-7, it's an all-star team. The top guys down here, think about it. I have Romello Brinson, Yul Keith Brown, Khalil Brantley.
Yes.
A kid by the name Mike Jackson from Palmetto who has a bunch of offers as well. TJ Huggins out of Miami Killian. I got a kid named Adam Cooper. I got some Jalen Brown from Gulliver, Andy Jean. Like we're loaded from top to bottom, and what these kids, a lot of them came from the same team. So it's number one, it's learning how to share the ball. Because some of these guys are the studs at their go-to high schools. You get me?
Right.
And they're used to get the ball 24/7. But the biggest pro and con 7-on-7 is that the receivers, number one, work on their routes. Quarterbacks on their timing. Quarterbacks only have 4 seconds to throw the ball. At the 4th second, it's declared a sack. So quarterbacks are learning how to read the field much faster. DBs are obviously working in coverage skills. Granted, 7-on-7, we use a linebacker because we were fortunate that Terrence Lewis and Wesley out of Miami Central, they're both very athletic linebackers that they're able to cover, but usually a lot of teams go with 7 DBs, which is untraditional, obviously, in football. It's more 6 DBs if you're going a dime package and stuff. But we run real real passing concepts, real coverages. So these guys get to work on their craft. Obviously, there's no tackling, but working their craft essentially of route running, locating the ball, jump balls, all that, making big plays in traffic, getting used to it without getting hit, obviously. But it just works on their whole athletic ability in general.
Yeah, absolutely, Jose. And that just shows you the importance of 7-on-7 football. Would you kind of compare it to kind of AAU or like travel baseball?
AAU especially. I know there's a big push right now, and a lot of people have been trying to get it where college coaches are deemed to go to tournaments because, yes, granted, it's not tackle football. I get you. There's a lot of old heads,
Right?
But you get to see these guys' raw athletic potential in 7-on-7. You get me? And it's crucial. Let's just say if they allow college coaching into 7-on-7, the sport's going to blow up even more.
Gotcha. And Jose, what are some prospects that perhaps on your team? I know you went over Khalil Brantley, for example. You went over some guys. You have some receivers from Miami Northwestern. But what are some prospects in general in Miami-Dade County who, we should keep an eye on in the 2021 class?
2021 class, a kid from Broward named Jaden Alexis.
Okay.
If we're not talking about guys on Miami Immortals, he's got heavy upside. I know, talking to a few guys on staff, they're very high on him. The kid's a track star. Wasn't really the 7-on-7 circuit, but enough people have put the seal of approval on this kid to say he's the real deal. I'm pretty sure he's out of Monarch High School.
Okay.
He's a stud to keep an eye on. Obviously, you have the whole Northwestern group. You got, for 2021, you go down to Miami Palmetto, you can go check them out. They got about 6 or 7 freak shows down there.
Yeah.
And Corey Clear, Jason, and it's not only 2021. It's a nice team. Then Northwestern, Central. There's a few teams, even Miami Killian this year. Miami Killian's back coach, Derek Gibson's doing a great job in getting guys over there to buy back into the program and restoring Killian back to their glory days. But I would definitely check out games from those programs because there's just so many guys to watch. The list could go on and on. But the Jaden Alexis kid stood out to me. If Braylon Brown's also a nice guy committed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ole Miss.
He's great. He's a great receiver. And look, from top to bottom, there's a lot of receivers in South Florida this year. But I'm a big Braylon Brown fan. He's not a burner. He's more of a possessions guy. I know that's an issue with a lot of fans because I do lurk sometimes on the blogs, but he can make big catches. I know his route running speed isn't up to par with some people like it. Granted, you're at Chaminade where they're feeding Franklin the ball 40 times a game. So now he's going to take Thomas Aquinas. He's going to be able to showcase himself. And then for guys from my team, Yul Keith Brown is that dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yul Keith is probably the most explosive player in South Florida when it comes to big playability and making it when it happens. He's an absolute gem to watch on the field if anybody gets a chance to go watch him. You got Romello Brinson also. Then you go to Northwestern. Northwestern has about 4 to 5 different receivers that you could just plows you. And one obviously Romello Brinson, Khalil Brantley. You got a young kid by the name of Andy Jean. You have a receiver, Zay Reese out there. He's a stud. There's some young guys all over the place too.
Yeah.
And then you could go down to Miami Homestead also has a nice little program with some nice young talent.
Okay.
Well, nice DNs.
Yeah.
Their new coach is doing a nice thing down there. But man, there's just so many guys to list. You got Mike Jackson out of Miami Palmetto, a young guy to keep an eye on.
How did that Jose? How did that program blow up with so many players? I mean, it's a really nice roster they have, and I know
Miami Palmetto.
Yeah, man, like really good players.
Yeah, Coach Manasco's done just a great job. Number one,
absolutely,
selling his program and keeping guys sold.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got some phenomenal assistants that come from the Parks and my buddy Shu Smith, Ray Baker. They've done a fabulous job in selling the vision of the Palmetto program to their little league teams.
Yep.
Most of the Palmetto team is a Richmond Giants national championship Pop Warner team. So they all stayed together and said, let's do this in high school all over again, and that's what you have at Miami Palmetto now.
Yeah.
So it's a credit to the staff. They've done a great job. I really tip my hat off to Shu and making sure the kids stay there and not listening to the other schools because it is Miami Palmetto.
Right.
But between him and Coach Masco and Coach Baker, I know Justin Rothwell. They've added great coaches to the staff, and Pat One and Justin Rothwell. So guys that can really help them hopefully take them to the next level. Palmetto, in my opinion, should be the 8-8 favorite this year.
Right. It seems like it with all the studs they have. Jason Marshall Jr. as well. Rashard Smith, who just decommitted from Florida. Hey, I got a question about the 2022 class. They mentioned some players. Who are some prospects that we should keep an eye out that are on the rise nationally?
On the rise nationally, Wesley, I always mess up his last name. Biastin from
Wesley?
Miami Central.
Wesley?
He's a linebacker. He's a linebacker from Miami Central.
Okay.
He should be a top 3 rated linebacker in the country. Top 5.
Wow.
I would be
Okay.
biased. He's about 6'1", 190 plus pounds. He flies across the field. He could cover a slot. He could cover a running back. I know. I've had some discussions that they view him being as the best defensive prospect in Dade County.
Wow.
In South Florida, 2022. Obvious Julian Amarea from Miami Gulliver that just transferred from St. Thomas Aquinas. He's another big name.
That's right. Yep.
2022. Who else? Off the top of my head, those are the 2 big names I can really think of right now. Mike Jackson is a 2022 kid. I really believe he's in that conversation as one of those typical Dade County elite slots, a little bit undersized, but makes up with his size with his elite speed. I think he blows up more. He's one of the top players at Miami Palmetto, and for me to say that, obviously, you know the caliber of talent they have. He just sticks out in games and you could play the outside receiver, makes big catches over corners, and you're like, how's this little guy doing it?
Absolutely. Hey, Jose, who from Miami's recruiting class 2021 just really stands out, like is a stud? You can just tell it's going to be an easy transition to the next level.
That's a tough one because I do like this class locally. I think the one kid that'll make a sudden impact. Actually, I'm ecstatic about the O-line class we have between Ryan Rodriguez and Lawrence Seymour. Yeah. It's an absolute home run in my opinion. Those 2 guys are dogs. I'm very, very big on Rodriguez and Seymour.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They're part of that first wave of bigs in Miami that were able to play Little League football. Okay. They're the first generation player of I was able to play at a young age before offensive linemen were developed going into high school. Right. Unless you played at a private school that has middle school programs, you really didn't have linemen being developed at a young age until recently. Now, example, Ryan Rodriguez and Seymour step into the picture. Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they also have McLaughlin. I believe his name is Michael McLaughlin from South Florida. He's like 6'7", but he needs to put on some weight as well.
Yeah, he's that free shot from Cypress Bay. He's a big boy.
Yeah, 6'7" in high school. He just needs to put on weight, but I mean, he's a growing boy. Hey, Jose, there were comments by Rob Likens saying they're interested in more West Coast wide receivers. They're going to explore that. Have you seen a trend down in offers in Miami-Dade County, or is it consistent?
I just think on a national, Coach Likens, number one, comes from He's been putting receivers in the league for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's done a great job. And between the three coaches that we added, number one, I think what Coach Diaz did after not so pleasant first year, I really credit him on how he went out, unlike the last two previous head coaches. And he's gone and made three assistant coaches that were former offensive coordinators. One was a former head coach and Coach Justice. I think they have national level scouting that they've been across the country, and just not getting left high and dry by these South Florida kids like in years past. But I do believe that this new endorsement deal, if played right, is an absolute huge opportunity to keeping these 4- and 5-star big-time Dade County receivers. Because right now, Dade County's 2021 class at receiver is the best it's been in a while.
Wow.
Like, from top to bottom, there's a lot of guys. DB, not so much. You have, obviously, I have Tim Burns out of Miami Northwestern, who's your stereotypical Trajan Bandy, LaMarcus Joyner style, like chippy nickel. That's just a little undersized, but plays with a chip on his shoulder. You have Cam Kitchens, who I believe is the best safety in the country. He plays a lot like Jaquan Johnson, if not better, in my opinion. That kid's a ball hawk. He has 18 interceptions in 2 years at Miami Northwestern.
Wow.
You have that guy, and then you have Collier and Marshall. I know you got the kid from MacArthur, that's good. But DBs is light this year in South Florida. You kind of got to recruit more nationally, more upper state-wise for DB this year. Wide receiver, I disagree on them going nationally, but I understand it with the amount of South Florida kids that have left them high and dry in the past.
Gotcha.
And this is going back from Coach Rick to Coach Golden to even Coach Shannon.
Right.
It's been a trend.
Right.
And look, don't get me wrong, even Coach Schellenberger, Coach Johnson, Coach Erickson, they would lose guys to Coach Davis. They would lose guys to Florida State, Florida. But you never really saw the South Florida kid really venturing out to other programs the way they do now.
Right. Hey, Jose, people are blowing up the chat about Isaiah Walker. What do you remember from him in high school?
I am an absolute big fan of Isaiah Walker. I think he's the best offensive tackle prospect since Eric Flowers down here.
Wow, that's first round pick.
Yeah, I believe the kid has I'm not saying he's Eric Flowers, but just the hype behind an offensive lineman in Dade County hasn't been. You could have said Dante Lucas last year, but he left the IMG.
Right.
And I'm very close to Dante, and I'm a big Dante Lucas fan.
And you were a part of his staff when he was at Miami High. You were his coach, right?
Yeah, I was part of the staff. I was the assistant of Justin Rothwell, who was the old coach, who's on Miami Palmetto. But look, man, I am a big Isaiah Walker fan. I think he's an absolute musket. I think if you have him on the table and you're able to get him, and you're between either him or the kid from Houston, I think you got to take Isaiah Walker just on a long-term perspective.
Okay.
Granted, Coach Diaz, I think, needs to win now and improve his win total. Obviously, that is a must. I think the staff does know their backs are against the wall, but they've done a great job in recruiting as of now after having the season you had. Like, think about the class that they closed on last year. Right now, think about it. You close on last year's class, add Isaiah Walker to the mix. You move up a couple. You're more than a top 10 class in the country. I think you move up to the top 10 with a kid like Isaiah Walker on it after winning 6 games. That's a great job by Manny.
Absolutely.
Look, Coach Banda grabbing Avante Williams was the biggest get of the class. When you asked me earlier, who's my favorite? I'm an offensive lineman guy. I'll go with Ryan Rodriguez and Seymour. But if you're going overall 20 class, Avante Williams is that dude.
Oh, yeah. No, that was the biggest, surprise. Number 1 safety in the nation. Everyone thought he was going to Florida. Flips to Miami last second. Plus, we steal Jalen Knighton from Florida State, who I think is going to be impact day 1 player at Miami. Huge get. And you went 6-7 and lost to FIU. That's incredible. Great job.
Yeah, and look, like you said, you're able. Avante, Coach Banda really put in his work with building a relationship for Avante the last few years, and I could say that from seeing it from a distance, standing there. I've seen Coach Banda Coach Rump did a great job recruiting two of my boys that I was very close with DJ Ivy and Gilbert Frierson, and I know how he pours. Coach Banda's as real as it gets, and I was really happy for him to land Avante Williams.
Yeah, no, Coach Banda, he really does seem like a nice guy. I met him one time, spoke with him for 5 minutes, but he did seem like a genuine guy. Hey, Jose, what do you like about the staff that they're doing that's different from the previous staffs at Miami?
Well, I have to give Coach Diaz the props, and obviously they're kind of on the same page as the other staff if you want to go off wins and losses. But year one, it's hard. That O-line was left in shambles for them, and same with the quarterback room situation. I think what I really like what they've done with the other staffs is Coach Diaz realized he had issues and took care of the issues.
Absolutely.
God bless Coach Rick for what he did in bringing us to some sort of national prominence. But look, Coach Golden didn't fire D'Onofrio.
Right.
Rick wouldn't fire his son. Manny said, screw this. I don't want to get fired. I'm going to fire who made it look terrible. Look, our defense at moments looked absolutely great last year. I think the defense would be better. If the offense was able to produce, I think, and also, look, you're 3 kicks away from a 9-win season.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And he's not kicking field goals either. It's on the kickers ultimately.
Yeah, so look, I'm kind of glad we missed those field goals because then we'd be stuck with Dan Enos still. You got me?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Really want to look at it in that perspective, but I just think it's really the coaching staff's gonna turn the corner. Obviously, I know people. If there's any Canes Insight fans on here, I'm one that's always played. I went to a few of their practices. It's Lashley and King are different than when I see. Well, I thought Enos did, but Enos wasn't able to put together what I saw in practice.
What do you think happened, Jose? Because
I have no idea.
He was supposed to be the OC at Bama.
I think something I've heard is Enos kind of forced his system.
Okay.
While Coach Lashley now is building a system around the talent we have.
Gotcha.
Seeing what our strengths are and our weaknesses is, and he's going to use that. I think that's signs of a great offensive coordinator. I think once Coach Enos wasn't reluctant to build an offense around the talent we had and kind of force the system.
Right.
That was just the writing on the wall when you don't have a good O-line and quarterback play shaky. You need an offensive coordinator that's going to get his arms dirty and let their offense do the talking. You got me? He's going to build it around these guys and be a mad scientist in the lab.
Absolutely. And Jose, what's kind of the hype around the Rhett Lashley offense in South Florida in Miami-Dade football? Are people excited about it, or is it more of a
everybody's excited about it because everybody's been dying for a spread offense. Or a spread, what do you want to call it, air raid? I don't know if he took some of Sonny Dykes' offense, but just a quick action, big play machine offense we've never had.
Right.
The fan base has been wanting it for 15 years.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be a lot faster. It's going to be no huddle, I think. And doesn't that fit the style of play a lot of high school football programs in Miami-Dade County to their player skill set? Aren't they used to that kind of offense? I was told that.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, you could say our offense is run that, but coaching isn't the best in South Florida.
Okay. Hey, Jose, who are some Tywan Mullen, for example? I felt like he was an underrated recruit, went to Indiana. I thought he could play at Miami. Who are some cornerbacks that should be, that are up and coming, maybe not recruited heavily in Miami, that are underrated or not just, or diamonds in the rough?
I would say this.
Okay.
Right now with DP in South Florida, a lot of these kids are playing wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
So, you're not really getting the DPs I feel like you used to. either you're nationally known, and then there's some diamond in the rough guys. Don't get me wrong. Like Taiwan Mullen was that dude always down here.
Right.
But the reason we don't get Taiwan Mullen is you take the Corey Couch. You don't take in this football game. It's a business. You're only going to take one undersized corner, maybe every other class.
Right.
So that's why you miss out on that guy. So that's the problem with these big corners. Like the guys down here are all nationalists. Like that kid Alfonso Allen, that's at Hollandale now.
Yeah.
That kid's the dude. Like,
Okay.
That kid's an absolute stud. And I believe he'll be the number one. He'll be number one safety, if not continuity safety in the country. That kid's a freak show.
Okay.
But yeah, more nationally known. Stanquan Clark, who plays with the Miami Immortals. He's a freshman safety at 6'1", 201 right now, playing high school football, and he's playing strong safety at that size. He's the size of a Division I safety already as a 15-year-old.
Okay, wow. So he's probably going to be nationally recognized by the time he's a junior. I mean, he's going to be well known.
Oh, well, he holds offers from Miami, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, LSU. LSU saw his size and offered him on the spot.
They already offered him.
LSU offered him on the spot when we visited there with our 7-on-7 program.
Hey, Jose, speaking of other programs, who are some coaches that are on the rise that are just doing an outstanding job in South Florida that we should keep an eye out on?
South Florida?
Yeah.
Jawan Cedar has a great relationship, I think, in South Florida.
Oh, Penn State, right?
Penn State. Yeah, I really like that coach. Great guy. Up and coming, I really don't know.
Does Lane Kiffin have that connection with a lot of players and coaches? Is he?
Yeah, Coach Kevin Smith does a great job at recruiting up there.
Right.
He's a local guy, actually, went to Miami Southbridge.
And Devin Bush's father's on his staff too at Ole Miss.
Oh, I did not know that.
I believe so. From Flanagan.
Yeah, he was at Michigan with his son.
Right. I think he's at Ole Miss now. Hey, Jose, I wanted to talk about Garin Justice, kind of his reputation when he was at FAU. What's the rep about him? I know Larry Bluestein was very high on him. What have you heard?
Yeah, I've heard just nothing but great things about him. Everywhere he goes, his O-line produces, it seems like, and improves. I've heard he's a great recruiter. I think he's showing that he's a great recruiter right now.
Yeah.
So he's a young, energetic coach. I think.
Oh, I think we lost Jose.
Hello?
Oh yeah, you were breaking up a little bit. I think you're back on now.
Yeah, no, he's doing a fabulous job in recruiting. He's a great guy.
Absolutely. No, I think a lot of people are excited about Garin Justice. I know Brian McKinney, Brett Romberg as well said great things about him. He's even reached out to former players. What are some things you think Coach Diaz just needs to address going into season 2 to be successful? I know he addressed the offense, but I know you're a fan of Miami as well.
It's the offense.
The offense
is able to produce. I think Coach Baker, Coach Banda, Packy, Stroud, Rumsford Company could handle it on the defensive side of the ball. Look, De'Aaron King I think everything is advertised.
Right.
I think it's not crazy, and they have him top 3 in the Heisman candidate. Preseason, he with odds, the kid's special, and hopefully we get a season because I would love to see that guy slinging and running.
Absolutely. Hey, Jose, do you know anything about Aaron McLaughlin, 4-star quarterback? I think he's the next take on board for Miami. I know.
No,
yeah.
I'm more dealing with the local level
right,
guys.
Right. I kept getting asked the question, but I figured you. I mean, I'm not familiar with him either as much, but
yeah, I'm more Dade County.
Right.
I leave Broward County and West Palm Beach to other people. And I was very lucky that at least 7-on-7 that some of the teams I put together with a couple other people, we got lucky when they were young, and my kids just developed our kids developed into great athletes over time.
Hey, Jose, I want to pick your brain. Why hasn't quarterbacks-wise in Miami, South Florida, I know we just had Lamar Jackson, wins the Heisman, Teddy Bridgewater. Why hasn't it been kind of a pipeline, or Miami perhaps hasn't really taken a lot of local guys in a sense? I know it's Miami, South Florida is not known for a quarterback hotbed, but why do you think that's the case per se?
Coaching.
Coaching?
You don't get developed down here.
More Texas and California where they can finance, bring in better coaches per se in the sense?
Well, look, here's the thing. In Little League, these guys aren't getting coached by the best of characters.
Okay.
Then you get to middle school, and when you get to high school, these coaches are making $1,200. So all the good coaches have left to other states, and good coaches just don't come. Granted, don't get me wrong, there's some great coaches in Dade County.
Right.
But there's a large share also some terrible coaches, and that's why I see a lack of development quarterbacks. But because of Teddy and stuff like that, I think you'll see more quarterbacks evolve here in South Florida. And it has been, don't get me wrong. Quarterback play has gotten better. Look at Tyler Huntley out of Utah. He's a local guy. You had Buckshot Calvert at Liberty. He was breaking records out there. Like, there's local studs. I just don't know if they're at the major Power 5 level. Like, Tyler Huntley could have easily been our quarterback the last 3 years at Miami over Malik Rozier and what we had last year. But it's you only have one or two, and they're diamonds in the rough or projects. Maybe if Coach Lashley does a great job in the next year. Zion Turner plays for me for our team, the Miami Immortals. I love Zion.
Yeah.
I think he's got some crazy upside, and he's a kid that I think Miami could take a reach on. And keep an eye also for our quarterback out of Miami Gullah that plays for Immortals, also Carson Haggard. He keeps growing. Carson gets all but 6'1", 6'2". He'll have every offer in the country.
Yeah. He's under 5'10" right now?
I would say he's about 5'11".
Okay, he's 5'11" right now. Yeah, because I remember his name did come up. So, Miami, like you said, it's kind of a lot of diamond in the roughs. Carson Beck was probably the best quarterback last class out of Jacksonville. And then Michael White as well.
Upper Florida has been producing a lot of more quarterbacks lately. You had Maurer, that's at Tennessee.
Right.
But it's more diamond in the rough here. Down here in South Florida, where you're going to find yourself linebackers, you're going to find some linebackers, you're going to find some undersized linebackers that can move.
Yeah.
The DBs and wide receivers and running backs.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And even when Miami is down at quarterback, we still have an outstanding list of quarterbacks that did play in Miami-Dade County. So we can match up with anyone, honestly. Jose, I want to pick your brain. What is your season prediction on this 2020 season for the Miami Hurricanes, you think?
Oh, man. My group chat's going to love me through this. We get into arguments about this all the time. Look, honestly, with the strength of schedule, I expect 10 to 11 wins.
Okay.
Regular season, I expect only dropping a game. I think Florida State's still shambles, but I am actually a big Mike Norvell fan.
Yep.
I think he's a great coach. I just don't know the talent level of Florida State. I haven't seen it, but obviously that's a rivalry game.
Right.
You never know in those situations. Look, with Coach Golden and James and them, we used to give them a little bit of run for their money, then they pull away. So you never know. But you could drop a game to a Florida State maybe. I would, the only game on the schedule that kind of really intimidates me is UNC. I am a very big Sam Howell fan.
Right.
He actually did play 7-on-7 for me, so you could say maybe I'm a little biased. But I think Sam Howell put on as good as a freshman showcase as he could.
Yeah, no, and his OC is outstanding too.
So I think UNC's really the only threat in the schedule. Granted, yes, we played terrible last year versus like BT, Georgia Tech and stuff. But I think with an explosive offense, it lights the fire under the defense and the guys kind of get going.
Okay.
So I do believe that there will be a significant difference. Like, it's either going to be really good or really bad. And I think it's from one extreme to the other. Miami's going to run the table, lose maybe one game in the regular season. I know I said that last year, and I was dead wrong. But I think that, honestly, with better quarterback play, and it's the same thing we said with leaving Coach Rick. Better quarterback play and better play calling, and this team's much better with Coach Diaz.
Right.
There with defense. So if the offense is able to produce, which I think they will, Coach Lashley has always put up numbers, and with a quarterback like Garrett King, you should be Temple by 3 to 4 scores.
Absolutely.
If you don't, I think that if we don't, then I would be nervous during the season. But the Temple game should nowhere be close. It should be a 3 to 4 score thing, and I think it should be a big. Obviously, it is Temple. I wouldn't say statement win, but it's more of a statement blowout to let people know, hey, our offense is here to score this year.
Oh no, absolutely, 100%. And I think if we can get the offensive line fixed, and it seems like this offense caters to our offensive line, not like the offense before, I think we can get the ball rolling. I am concerned about defensive backs. I just think the number there is slim with experience. You have DJ Ivey and Al Blades. Everybody else doesn't have a lot of game experience, where you take a quarterback like Sam Howell, Trevor Lawrence, they might have a great day on the offense. So those are kind of two positions.
I think, but look, I think DJ Ivey and Al Blades both turned a corner. I think they had some bad plays last year, but they also had some great plays.
Right.
In the sense of they got better as the season went, in my opinion. Yeah. I think Bubba Bold, I think at safety, you're 4 deep. That's that's reassuring. I know they're very high on Christian Williams. I know they're very high. And I am as well from me personally. I love the Corey Couch. He's a dog.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think he's in the nickel this year. I think also, but you're concerned with the DBs. We'll make up with it with the pressure that the D-line puts on teams this year. That D-line potentially is a top 5, top 3 defensive line in the country.
It's very good.
In my opinion. If Phillips could remain healthy and Roche could produce what he produced last year for Temple, I think you're in the mix for a very serious defensive line. A defensive line that Miami hasn't seen. I think Miami has seen with the dominance, obviously, of Gerald Willis and then of Kendrick and RJ a few years back. But I think all 4 guys could produce at any given moment for this D-line. And it's not 4. You're pretty deep. The New York bunch, I know people are very high on. Like, they love the New York kids.
Really? Okay. Okay, interesting.
Harrison Hunt, they speak very highly of Harrison Hunt.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Lissette, Harrison Hunt, El Gamal. Yeah. And Jose, who's that one player that you can even say a local guy who's due for a breakout year, where maybe because of the offense last year he was restrained, or just this is his breakout season?
I'd say D. Wiggins or Mark Pope.
Okay. Absolutely. So D. Wiggins, Mark Pope.
I think with this offense, I think with this offense, they should really feast, man. It caters to their strengths, and I'm really excited to see both those guys. I've seen them doing it since Little League, so I really want to see them be successful. But I think with an offense like this, they're the ones that are going to benefit the most off a breakout year. I also, on the defensive side of the ball, I expect a big year out of Gervin Hall. Okay.
Gervin Hall as well. Yeah, no, Gervin Hall, I think he showed flashes of a great player in college football last season. He didn't put it all together completely for the season, but he did show flashes. I would agree. And Jose, I got a question, man. Are you going to be coaching University of Miami sidelines one day? I know you're trying to build up your resume, or is that
I like doing 7-on-7 football.
7-on-7 is your passion?
Yeah. Football. I I got a couple more years left in this football stuff, but
I hear you. Yeah.
It's a fun hobby of mine. I've always helped out.
Yeah.
Either coaching Pop Warner or in the schools. 7-on-7 is kind of my niche right now. It's easier, less headache, less drama.
Gotcha.
There is drama involved in 7-on-7. Don't get me wrong, but not compared to the high school football and all that. It's just not worth the time and the money that there is in high school football in South Florida.
I hear you, Jose. Well, hey, it was a pleasure to have you on, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, taking time out of your day, man. And many blessings to you and your family, man. Stay safe during these times.
All right, you too.
Appreciate it, Jose. Have a great day, man.
All right, thanks for having me on. Bye.
All right. All right, everyone. That was Jose Duasso, 7-on-7 coach for the Miami Immortals. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. Tomorrow, I will be going live with Austin Fendiger, ex-Miami Hurricanes wide receiver. Also, NFL agent represents names such as Javonte Dean, Mike Smith as well. Just some names you're familiar with. There's many more players. So check us out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, everyone, for joining the live show, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the day.